one chance. No sleep till I'm enhanced. Fight hard to keep my stance. Knuckle up, time to buckle up. I got one shot and I won't stop. One goal for the joyride. I'm a champion. Move aside.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Taking over the game.
What am I watching? They might just be doing it.
He's a god. He's a god.
Yeah. Full force, I'm unleashed, so don't speak. Grandmaster, don't sleep. Victory, it tastes so sweet. Knuckle up, time to buckle up. I got one shot and I won't stop. One goal for the joyride. I'm a champion. Move aside. Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Overwatch League. Here we are again, Doa here with ZP, and you know what? It's going to be a great evening of Overwatch, or maybe morning, depends on where in the world you are. But we've got some exciting matches. You and I, ZP, we get to do the first one. It's going to be the Hangzhou Spark taking on the Seoul Dynasty. A lot to look forward to today, but this matchup in particular could go kind of one of two different directions, where we feel, I think, and I won't speak for you, I'll let you speak for yourself, but we feel like Seoul's a bit ahead in this series, but Spark has shown, Spark's, no pun intended, of brilliance over the years. So what do you think, CP? How do you rate this one?
I think between the two teams, from what we've seen so far, bear in mind it is hard to rate the Spark because their matchup was against the Valiant, where right now a lot of teams have been able to beat the Valiant, so you don't really know. But from the mechanical side of things, all in all, I would say that I think I give the edge to Seoul. I mean, it still depends what Seoul shows up today, but Seoul looked really strong given the fact that, there are no heroes out of the pool. Everything is available. Prophet was able to go on the comfort picks like Tracer. And, I mean, pure and simple, Seoul just looked good yesterday.
Yep, certainly did. We'll see if they can carry that through today. It is APAC, so who knows? But don't forget, it is a new stage of the tournament. That means it's a whole new batch of pick'ems to go pick from. So go to pick'em.overwatchleague.com and get those locked in. I've actually remembered, ZP. I remembered 2 days in a row to do my pick'ems. It's a record, I'm pretty sure. I did okay. Today's Western Conference matches were a little bit wacky, so I didn't get all of those right, but I'm confident that tonight I'm going to nail it on the east side of things. How are your pick'ems doing?
Overall, not great. I forgot to do the first day of NA, and then I did not predict any of the upsets that came across in NA today, where I don't think a whole lot of people saw the Defiant being the Mayhem. So, I got
did not pick
caught
that
by
one.
that.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm not sure I'm in the running for the statue anymore, but hey, maybe I'll really catch on fire as we get to play-ins, and I'll have a good bracket.
Well,
no one's had a perfect bracket yet.
I hope you don't actually literally catch on fire. You avoided bee stings yesterday, so avoid, go like combusting today if you can. Let's take a look at a player whose stats have been combusting on Ashe at least so far this season. It is going to be Shy from the Hangzhou Spark, and check it out. Out of those 5 categories on the screen right now, first in 4 of them. Very impressive performance so far on Shy, or on Ashe by Shy. And you know what? Just another hero that's going to be meta now that things have kind of unlocked a little bit. We're starting to see a lot more Ashe. I wouldn't be surprised to see if we see Shy on that Ashe, if he plays. Because as you can see, ZP not in the starting roster right now.
So you took the words out of my mouth where it's like, Shy's really good. I can't say enough good things about Shy. However, the one thing I would say about Shy is that he lives up to his name, the fact that he's not always present. He's not always here. You look at the starting roster.
We can't control that.
Yeah.
We can't control that. Oh, we're going back to, neat. It's this is my favorite version of Overwatch on the original Nintendo. Way back in the day. There we go. Here's our map list. We're going to go to Nepal first. ZP, it's going to be our control map. Always a little bit of excitement on control, since it's a good chance for the teams to shake off the rust, get scrappy. But I'm ready to get started, ZP. Let's do it. Here we are on Nepal. We're starting on Shrine, it looks like.
Yeah, Shrine is going to be where we kick things off, and Seoul coming out here with the Rhine, May, McCree. On the other side, Summon 2 going to be out here on the Echo. So the question is, with the Echo Tracer dive, what is the Spark going to be able to accomplish? Will they be able to move Seoul off the point? Because on the point itself, Seoul's going to have a bit of an edge.
Yeah, I think so.
Not anymore, though.
Prophet down already.
MCD.
MCD has been this amazing Zenyatta sniper all year long. I love watching this guy in the Zen, and he's back. Couldn't play it, obviously, in the June Joust. But here we are in the Summer Showdown. He's already getting picks. Impressive stuff, and that's going to let Spark get the percentage rolling early.
Yeah, Yeah, when Zen is able to do that, it really changes the dynamic of the game, where it's not something you plan on. You don't go into a team fight going, yes, our Zen will get a pick, but MCD finds the pick off, and it's so good in control to get the first fight like that, and hey, we'll see if the Spark capitalize.
There are definitely certain Zenyatas that are able to do that. MCD is one of them, obviously Jonex one of them. Creative has had some good plays in the past too. And Seoul Dynasty trying to muscle their way back on the point. They do have the Baptiste wall. Prophet, again, did a great job yesterday on this Tracer, now that he could play it again. And look at that, Seoul just muscled their way in, and they don't even need the kill CP to flip the point.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the presence of Reinhardt. Fitz drops a Deadeye, immediately finds Architect. Marvel, though, out of the fight. They're not going to have the bully presence that they did just a moment ago. And all right, Seoul, they say it's time to go. They drop the beat, no Ryan required. At the very least, it's going to be forcing the Spark back, give some time for Marvel to head back over onto the point. Summon 2, duplicate still in progress. The Spark looking for any elimination to be found here. And MCD finds Prophet. MCD continuing to have a really good round here so far, but Fitz, responding in turn, gets Bernard. Fitz with 2, and Seoul not have it just yet. Where is Fitz and Architect right now, trying to deal with them?
Dude, Fitz has been such a breakout performer here. I love watching this guy. I know I've been saying that a lot, but it's true. He's one of the best hit scan players we have around right now. Gushue able to get that health pack and get out, it looks like, but Seoul still maintains control over the point here. They've overtaken the percentage that the Spark were able to build up now, and they've got a couple outs to try to hold this too.
That was wild. There was a moment there where Spark could nearly flip the fight, but Fitz was untouched to the side, got 2 pickoffs. And you take a look as Architect goes, I'll deal with them, and still doesn't happen. So Fitz right now, public enemy #1 for Spark to deal with.
I mean, without Fitz's heroics there, I think Seoul probably would have lost the point. So yeah, definitely going to be a target here for the Hangzhou Spark as they come back in. Prophet throws out the pulse bomb, doesn't get anyone. No, he does. He gets Architect. He didn't
I don't think that was intended. That was
I think Architect. He must have blinked onto it or something.
Yeah, because we've looked our point of view. We don't see Architect anywhere there.
Yeah.
It shifts camera point of view. It's like, oh, Architect stepped on it. Well,
always good to take the donation once in a while from the enemy Tracer. Wants to jump on the pulse bomb for you. 95%
stats are going down.
Need to make this happen. Yeah.
Architect sees like his stats for pulse bombs are going down. I must do something.
He does it because he cares.
Nice shield from Bernard as the Shatter comes in. Doesn't get hit as a result. Architect going to the side, lays the bomb right to the ground, but the barrier was up. Marvel, though, still going to go down. Creative finding MCD, 5-on-5. Both teams. Bernard, though, so charged up.
Somansu doing a lot of damage on the Echo as well. And, again, ZP, it was actually Marvel going down first in that fight. And I wonder if that's something that the Spark are going to start to kind of focus on a little bit, or maybe that was part of the game plan coming in today as well, because they've done a good job of pressuring the Reinhardt and making it difficult for Marvel to hang in there. Like, Seoul has had to win a couple fights 5v6 because of this.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel's definitely been something that's getting focused on, but he's also drawing enough aggro, so to speak, that it's given opportunities, particularly for the DPS and Fitz. Now Fitz under a bit of pressure. Deadeye out early. Not gonna get too much.
Boy.
Summon 2 has the duplicated Reinhardt, drops a Shatter. Soul still hanging in there. Here comes Summon 2 coming in from the side, burns down Marvel again, and yeah, you keyed in on Doa, and we are seeing it quite a bit. It's been a tougher round for Marvel, and now Seoul down to their last opportunity.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, we saw that early pick onto the May from MCD, right? And after that happened, Prophet swapped over to the Tracer, and you got to think that May in this composition is oftentimes a big part of keeping your front line stable, right? So yeah, we know Prophet is a big playmaker on the Tracer, but sometimes you just need that May in the front line to just keep things standing.
Architect goes for the pulse bomb. Prophet does not fall on it, does not return the favor. Marvel just burnt down again.
Marvel again.
Summon 2, though, down to the side for Prophet. This is 5-on-5, but the front line for Seoul just about decimated here, Doa. Gushue caught to the side. Animo's able to boop off. Seoul very much still in this fight. They're caught in the grab barrier, though, keeping most people alive. Not creative, and oh, look at Bernard just going in. Taking down 2 effectively with a little bit of assist from MCD. And Bernard doing so much in this team fight. But Marvel back in, Prophet over and in. And the Soul starting to turn it right back around.
I love it. Marvel swapping over to the Wrecking Ball, able to go back, but they do lose the point. Wow. Gushue just rolled on there and took it. Summon Su on the Soldier 76, so everybody making those last-minute swaps just to get back to the point in a hurry. Marvel, goes down. Architect gets the kill there, and now Seoul in big trouble.
Seoul trying to look for a way back in. Prophet ultra low, fits on the legs now of all heroes, and no, Seoul cannot keep it in contest. And yeah, a big theme there, Doa, that kept happening that you brought up and still continues to be a case is that the focus fire in the Marvel is kind of insane here. I think it's one part Spark making that part of their game plan, but also Marvel might want to just, play a little bit more passive if that is what's going to be going on, because he was dying first a lot.
Well, we see Prophet swapping back over to the May here, and that's what I was kind of talking about in that last round, ZP, and that's what I'd kind of like to see, because, obviously the May can't, heal the Reinhardt, but you can create a lot of space for the Reinhardt by just having that threat of freezing whoever comes close. You've got the wall to protect the Reinhardt as well from time to time. So if you're going to run the Rein, it feels like the May is kind of an integral part of that, especially if you're Prophet and you weren't quite able to get those hero plays going that last round. So I like the swap back. We'll see if Seoul can equalize.
For now, Spark just going to be hanging out on the top. Dynasty already taking presence on the point over to the bottom. Now Spark going to drop down, both teams filling each other out, and Bernard not really waiting a whole lot here, immediately heading in. Gushui, though, this time going to be the tank. Die early, gets isolated, is hits with 2 on the Spectre, and he's to the flank, Doa. This is so scary, a charge up Spectre with positioning. Gets walled out and still not stopping. Not letting go of W in the least.
I am on fire.
Wow, all right, well that looked a lot better for Seoul. You've just got so much damage kind of being sprayed over the enemy team there that once the Rhine goes down, there's really nothing stopping that. Now the swap from Somin-Su to the Doomfist, that's kind of interesting. A way to sort of get through that front line in a hurry. Maybe take out the Baptiste in the back, disrupt the Reinhardt. See how this works out. Bold swap.
It's also bold. Somin-Su's camera angle has really distinguished himself relative to the rest of the players going, I'm going to pick a good camera angle. Let's see if the Doomfist play is just as good moving in. And maybe not. Immediately caught out.
Down. Yeah, but creative pace for it as well. Fitz, though, getting in there and doing a lot of damage. He is terrifying on this Symmetra right now. Gushwa gets 3, though, overall.
They're not the point,
Can
though.
they hold? It looks like maybe for now.
Yeah, well, especially with that. Bernard not able to get back into the mech. And, it's been a rough round for Somin-Su, I have to say.
Yeah, this
not
Doomfist
ideal.
is not working out.
Yep. I don't think there's going to be a swap, though. I think at this point you're deep enough into the round that... as I say that, never mind.
Well, if you're going to swapping to the McCree is something good, right? Because you've got the playmaking immediately with the flashbang. You don't need to wait to build anything up. I think it's a smart thing to do to get this McCree online here. See if they can make anything out of it, though.
Yeah, they're getting really checked heavily at the choke point. Prophet goes, you want to get through? Here's a Blizzard. No, Architect's Blizzard in to turn. To you all over it. To you, who was very aggressive versus the Hunters yesterday. Some great plays, picking up where he left off. And 93%, this should be Seoul's round.
Yeah, I think Seoul Dynasty has this one locked out. Looks like we're going to round 3 on Nepal 99. Nobody can even get there. And I think this is a really good sign from Seoul Dynasty. They had Prophet on the Tracer that last round. He swapped off of the May after the early pick, tried to be a hero, just couldn't get the job done. And so the team goes, you know what? We're going back to the composition we were originally going to play on Shrine. It works even better on Village with that Ryan May McCree, or Ryan May Symmetra rather, and it worked out very well. Now, the question is, ZP, can they carry it through to a win here on Sanctum in the 3rd round of Nepal?
Yeah, we'll just have to see. Both teams pretty evenly matched here so far. Still got to get to Fitz for that opening. Now, the opening for Symmetra was terrifying. But now...
pretty much.
Let's see if there's any change between the two teams.
Well, the Sigma on both sides is different from that last round, but that's going to be a pretty common pick on this just because you've got those long-range abilities to get the accretion. You can place a shield in some pretty good spots around the point.
Also, Somin-Su's been playing a lot of different heroes this map in particular. Now onto the Sombra.
Yeah.
Man of many talents, I suppose.
Hey, variety is the spice of life, right? That's what they say. And the spice must flow.
Yep. Not very spice has been able to put onto food, though. I go to the aisle, it's just not there. But Somin-Su...
No, it's a spice melange.
fancy words.
It's a Dune reference, CP. It's a Dune reference.
Yeah, I didn't get it. It went entirely over my head. Just like the point went entirely away from the Spark. Dynasty getting it nearly for free.
Wow, yeah, this is an interesting first fight.
Fitz again got to the flank, Doa.
I mean, Fitz on the Symmetra has just been deadly, right?
Yeah,
wow.
It's been very cool to watch this Fitz continually finding good angles on the Symmetra. And now, I mean, Spark are in a tough spot. They have to retake one of the harder control points to retake. And 31% to the Soul. Soul going to be charged up for the next fight. It's not ideal. I mean, really, at this point, they're hoping for Architect to find some form of early pickoff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're hoping for. Sominsu waiting to build up that ultimate. A little bit of a later EMP. Does hack creative.
Well,
but look at
Fitz has already killed 2.
He doesn't care. He's just going to walk in and roast people.
This just keeps happening. Every fight, Fitz comes in from the off angle and immediately barbecues 2 people. At some point, if you're the Spark, you have to be looking to the side going, I wonder if Fitz is there, because guess what? He probably is.
I mean, his ability to keep the beam on people 110% of the time has certainly been a big part of that, but now someone's who's been waiting for this moment. Here's the EMP, waiting for his team to get back so they can coordinate. This is big. This might be the only chance for Spark to win this map.
Yeah, I mean, the EMP is step 1. They're going to need to do even more than that, but hey, if they win this fight, it is purely over. So Gushue coming in from the side. Summon 2, where's the EMP? The fight's already in progress. They might not have to. They already got 3 down. It was a really good initiation from Gushue where, he gets caught by the Blizzard towards the end. And yeah, Fitz is on the flank, but this time Fitz gets dealt with. It's too much damage done to the Dynasty, and as a result, the Spark should be able to get this.
Yep, pretty good by Profit there to just hold on the point with the May, get them up to 98%. They're in one-fight territory, as we say in the game, which means all they need to do is win one fight, and they should be able to flip it back and win the round. So good position for Seoul to be in. They've got a couple ults to use. See if they can make it work, though, as Spark's pretty well equipped to defend this, too.
Ideally, they do this with just the EP. They get to save both support ults, drop a good EMP. Summon Su, though, gang pulling back. Meanwhile, Gushue gets caught. The timing's all off here. Summon Su's completely out of position as Gushue falls. And now the EMP's not going to be nearly as effective. Onimo drops the beat as Soul moves over to the point. EMP gets dropped late. It only hits creative, I think. Not ideal. Fitz is on the rampage again. Already got Architect just beaming off to the side. To you, though. Caught by IDK, and this is getting up close and personal. Bernard getting charged up, looking for Marvel, punches him in the face, and the Spark somehow turn it.
Yeah, that was looking a little bit grim at the very beginning of the fight, but Spark hold on. It definitely looked disjointed, though. I mean, that was a concerning fight. You know, I'm sure the Spark coaches are going to go back and watch that one a little bit later. They got the job done, but they had to get kind of messy to do it. But now on the Soul side, some swaps. We got the McCree, we got the Tracer. So it's all about making the picks and getting that lopsided fight. They nearly took the point right there, too.
Looking a little bit Tracer beat Tracer. Graviton set early by the Spark. His fall through going to be there. The Immortality Field really on point by Creative. They dropped the window at the same time. Gushue can't get away. Creative, what a turnaround. Dropped the Immortality Field at the right time. Had the window for the DPS to push the Spark back. We are in overtime now. Seoul just needs a little bit more to seal map 1.
Well, they did take it back, too, during all of that. Like, Spark just couldn't even get back on the point. Goodbye, Burner, and goodbye the hopes for winning this map for the Hangzhou Spark. I don't think they're going to be able to do it now. They're going to be able to keep contesting, but it's so lopsided. Can they maybe do it? EMP? No, that's it. Seoul Dynasty takes the first map. Spark certainly made them work for it, but it was Seoul in the end to claim the point.
Yeah, and, you know, for Seoul, definitely not the cleanest at times, but they pulled it all together in the end. The one part that was clean the entire way through, though, was Fitz. Fitz was right place, right time on the Symmetra. And, you know, you don't always look at Symmetra and go, that's going to be a huge DPS threat. You know, teams play Symmetra more for the utility. But, man, as far as DPS contribution goes, Fitz did about as much as you could ever ask for in a Symmetra in that position.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, exciting first map. CP Spark showing some signs of life, but Seoul looking like the more kind of consistent team so far today. We'll see if that carries through to map number 2. Don't go anywhere. The Overwatch League returns right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
He's going to have to pump this right away. Look at the HP. True nearly got melted.
Yeah, Monk. Knocked there into the corner. The immortality field does come down, but he lands on the other side of the wall. He's knocked back up top. He's trying to stay alive. The stop comes in. Guangzhou will get the kill. With a ball.
Really sound barrier.
So inch their way onto the point. Yeah, sound barrier off the bat. Now the Deadeye comes in. Fitz does manage to find Friday, and that's just going to be the one fight. The barrage gets committed. The flashbang is instantly there from Fitz. Stops it right in its tracks.
NY Excel, but they've lost Flora and the Deadeye, and the Death Blossom from Architect, finding everyone, and the Spark are going to get this payload moving to the second point.
Kind of last second contest here from the side of the NYXL. Minefield thrown down in advance of that. Now the whole Hawkins gesture pushing forward. Team coming through, they jump in. Ivy blown up by the mines, as is Yakbuk. And that should be point A in the books here, as Marvel finds 3 on the back of his own.
Welcome back to the Overwatch League, everybody. Right now, the Seoul Dynasty enjoys a 1-0 lead over the Hangzhou Spark. But CP, they had to kind of work for that one a little bit. It looked a little bit messy. I think my favorite part of that map was Prophet dying to MCD early, and he's like, all right, it's Tracer time. And then it didn't really fit the comp very well, and they weren't able to get that round. So what do you think? Do you think Seoul's going to kind of like stick to the game plan from here on out, or do you think there's going to be some more kind of like attempted hero play moments?
Well, I don't think Seoul's going to change up too much, but they should be worried about threats on the other side because the Spark have decided to bring in Shy. Shy is no longer in the game, and if anyone could give Fitz a run for his money, well, it'd be Shy. So I think that's going to be the key game change dynamic here is that Fitz is going to get checked a lot more. And in fact, this Dynasty are going to have to worry about a much stronger hit scan threat. So I'm curious to see how Shy being swapped in is going to affect the dynamic of the game. I think more than anything else, I think for Seoul, you would have to look to someone like 2U to potentially just be diving on Shy, at any given opportunity.
Yep. What do you think? Do you think there's a superstition around like wearing the headphones around your neck or wearing them on your head? I mean, it's up to player preference. I kind of go day by day. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, so I think what's happening there is that I think players have to use a specific headset for comps. I have no idea. This is all me speculating. But then, for whatever reason, if they don't like the audio or something, they're like using earbuds instead. Like that is my personal headcanon on whatever is going on, because we have seen a lot of players with like the headset around their neck and then some form of like in-ear on there. It's kind of funny, but I've also done that myself at times.
Wonderful. All right, a little bit of emoting to glimpse outside of the stairway there from Architect. Shy on the Ash. We saw that stats page, ZP. 4 out of the top 5 categories, #1 in the league on the Ash so far this season. So definitely a deadly player to watch out for. Fitz, though, Seoul lately has been doing these really great engages with the Symmetra. And here's another one right now, just diving right into the point. Yeah, backing up into the wall. Now they're going to go ahead and take the high ground. I love Seoul's engages lately.
Yeah, and here's what you have to do if you're Spark. Okay, they've used Symmetra TPN. Keep an eye on Fitz and where Fitz is at all times, because Fitz has turned the Symmetra into a threat. And
Operation Get Shy.
Yeah, I mentioned that it would be 2U hunting Shy. What if 2U brought the whole gang?
I was going to say, yeah, what if it's just the whole team?
Yeah,
but this is great. I mean, using these Symmetra engages, using the teleporters to be able to dive, essentially, 6v1, IDK down, they're going to keep doing it. Marvel just swinging away, gets 3, and this is going to be a point A taken about as fast as you can. Obviously, it does take a little bit of time to go through those setups for Seoul, but that was just executed so well. And Spark, to a certain extent, you sort of know what's coming, but even if you do, with the high ground and where teams are kind of spread out around the point, it's really difficult to get there defensively and save someone from a situation like Shy was in.
Yeah, also positionally, that was just a masterclass by Seoul. I mean, you want to look for textbook of just completely out-positioning the opponent coming in from the right angles. That fight right there, because Spark at one point had no idea what was going on aside from the fact that Seoul were in the right place at the right time. Architect, though, Doa, built up the pulse bomb coming in from the flank, and Fitz shuts down Shy, shuts down IDK. Fitz is unstoppable.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, we were wondering about how Fitz would handle things when Shy comes in. Looks like it's not a concern. Fitz with 3 kills and counting in this fight so far. And Seoul looking pretty strong up to this point in King's Row. Fast point A take now, rolling it down B pretty quick. And look at Marvel, 360 Earth Shatter incoming. Come on. Do it.
Well,
I dare ya.
He might as well, because if you're the Spark right now, I'm not sure you're paying attention to Marvel as much as going, we must kill the Cowboy, formerly Symmetra. But Marvel is going to get forced back. He's not going to get the sneaky top rope Earth Shatter, but Seoul is setting one crazy time right now, and Fitz strikes again. Shy who?
MCD's like, all right, I know how to actually click heads. Let me show you. There's a pin from Marvel. Ooh, but that is a Zen Transcendence to live. That is actually shocking that he was able to survive that. The rest of Spark having to back away, but they do take Marvel down on the way out, and so it looks like Seoul might be stymied for the moment.
Yeah, Seoul is going to get thrown back. A lot of ults being used for the Spark, but they come out on top. And I mean, the good part there is that even though Fitz opened up with a pick, he was immediately neutralized. So that part of the Seoul game plan was dealt with. And now Architect trying to get a little bit extra staggering here. Prophet going to be a little bit later to rejoin the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Spark has something that not a lot of teams in the league have, which is a playmaking Zenyatta. There are a few of them, but they are few and far between. And MCD has shown that he's consistently able to deliver those orbs to the craniums of the other team. And that kind of saved the day, right? Because we're seeing Fitz straight up win the 1v1 against Shy so far this map. And it really took MCD to respond and get the kill into Shy then to turn that fight around.
You say 1v1, but it's felt more like a 1v3, 1v4 at times. And it's not to say Dynasty is helping Fitz. It's just Fitz is putting everyone to ground before you can blink. It's been unreal, the play of the team from him so far. Gushue under pressure after diving in. He's going to be able to get away. Meanwhile, Marvel off the flank. Gets the Flux, takes down Marvel. To you, though. Finishes Gushue. Both teams down to tank. Architect moving in, drops a Pulse Bomb, doesn't connect. No. Soul backing up to you. Going to drop the self-destruct down. Bronze Streak gets MCD. Still very winnable for Seoul. 4v4, they're going to rotate back over to the payload. And most importantly for Seoul, Fitz is still alive.
That's right, they were fighting a 5v5. They had a little bit of Overwatch 2 action with that one, apparently. But, and I appreciate what IDK tried to do. He tried to put up the shield to protect MCD and just didn't quite have the angle on it. It's a thin shield, I get that, you know? Shy down already, though. Marvel finds another one, and Shy has just been absolutely hammered this particular series. They have not let him get anywhere close to the payload, it feels like, on this map.
No, not at all.
That's point B soon.
Now, well, the Blizzard comes in. The Spark are going to try and hang on there. Architect gets frozen, and yeah, that is point B. And, you know, to the point of what's happening to the Shy, I'm not sure how much of it is Shy's fault, where, yeah, maybe there's some shots he's missed, but I feel, as you say, Shy shows up on the map, and you got 2U and Fitz on Operation Shut Him Down, and it's been beauty to watch. And, well, not that. Not that.
Oh, no. Oh, it happens to the best of us, Fitz. Don't worry, nobody saw that. Nobody saw you roll off the edge. Don't worry. I heard there's a patch where they're reducing the rolling length, so that won't happen again.
Fitz is also #1 at taking out Fitz. He's his own best counter.
You hate to see it. I mean, that kind of gives Spark a chance to kind of regroup a little bit. Here's the Deadeye. Everybody knocked up. That may have benefited Fitz for a moment there. Oh, nope, no kills out of that one. Shy down, though. That's just Bob, actually. Here comes the Gritavidic Flux. And Fitz is down. Another strong teamfight win for Spark. And that payload has been stopped for a bit, ZP.
Yeah, it really has. Bernard gets a really nice Flux to even things out there. Fitz focused down in the middle of it. Still 2 minutes left here for the Dynasty. However, the threat of them finishing with time over a minute just about gone here. So, you know, looking ahead, it does take a little bit of pressure off the Sparks attack coming up, even if the Dynasty complete the point.
Well, hopefully Fitz able to stay on there, stay on the ledge. He rolled off like he was going to go like fight the Balrog on the way down or something, but I think it's better to stay up here.
I mean, I think you'd beat the Balrog. Pure and simple.
It's true.
Stronger than the gun, though. But, okay, Marvel saying over here. Goes for the pin.
Oh.
It's just a Zenyatta holding on to the Shatter. Waiting. Where's the Shatter going to go? Marvel looking for position. Drops into the corner. To you with the bomb. Finds Gushue. Architect onto Automo. Creative over. Shy neutralized again. And this time it's the BAP of all people.
Wow,
Fitz. Nice shots on the Architect. And Soul very close to finishing. If you're the Spark, though, you at least should drain this under a minute.
Oh, yep, MCD got spotted. Nice flashbang at max range there for Fitz to finish off that one. Gushue not going to live too much longer here either. And Seoul looks like they're going to be able to get this one across the finish line. The respawn's coming in, but with 52 seconds left on the clock, Seoul Dynasty get it done. Got a little bit messy, but, you know, King's Row point C oftentimes does ZP. And I think at the end of the day with Seoul, you're just going to be happy to get it finished.
Yeah, at that point, it'd be nice to have the time over a minute because it gives you a slightly better victory condition, but you're still happy finishing things out as they were. And I have to say, going back to the idea of game plans, you know, we talked about, okay, Shai's coming in, you know, he's going to be checking Fitz. The Dynasty have done an amazing job of just making Shai's life miserable this map.
Yeah, they really have. it's kind of like, all right, well, you bring in Shy because you think he can make a difference in this one. Well, how about if we just all gang up on him the entire time? And it's tough. You know, it seemed like they weren't. It seemed like Spark haven't been prepared to handle this amount of pressure directed towards Fitz specifically. We'll see if things change on the attack here. But from minute one, you know, it was just get Fitz. That was it. That was the mandate, you know?
Yep. Also, you want to talk about just positioning and coaching for the Dynasty. Think back to how they handled their point A attack, Doa. I mean, it was a masterclass of just rotating with the Symmetra, catching Shy unaware with the entire team, and just continually flanking. It seems like a new Dynasty, even relative to yesterday. It's been a joy to watch.
It does. I mean, they were very tight. Just the way that they first engaged on the point, pushed the team back, which separated Fitz from the rest, and then went up on the high ground, took him out 6v1. Architect looking for a couple shots in the Widowmaker, doesn't quite find any. What's the plan for the approach? This comp for Spark is looking for opportunities, basically. Looking for people who are maybe a little bit out of position. They can jump on them, get the bubble on the DPS that needs it.
The interesting part here is, you know, it's not Fitz on the McCree anymore. It's Prophet. Fitz instead off over to the Sombra, and Gushue caught. And yeah, I was going to say, given how much Spark has been playing ball, I like the swap to Sombra here because after Gushue, do you stay at the ball here? I mean, you can play against Sombra, but man, your life's going to be difficult.
I mean, yeah, that Sombra pick for Fitz already paying dividends, and I think you're absolutely right. I think Seoul Dynasty identified that Gushue is kind of, you know, in that mode today to play the Wrecking Ball. So naturally, if you've got a Sombra player, which Seoul does, why not use it? MCD down. That's big.
He's hacked again, and he's dead.
I mean, Spark look kind of disjointed here. Yeah, Fitz with another kill on Gushue. There's got to be a change, right? CP, you got to switch it up at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Gushue has a world-class Winston that could go on. I mean, generally good on most things. But, you know, that was another time in a row where you just looked at the health bar. You see, oh, there's a hack, and his health just immediately drains down. I mean, the Sombra is really tough for Spark to deal with. Shy! Gets hit by a Fire Strike combo. I think that was Window Fire Strike that just insta-give him. I mean, he's getting hit with the kitchen sink and everything else still in the kitchen. It's unreal.
It's a full refrigerator, and it's coming at him. It's scary, right? I mean, Shy has just not been allowed to play the game here on Kings Row, basically. I think Seoul Dynasty saw that stat sheets we showed at the beginning of the broadcast, and they're like, yeah, we're going to ruin that. And they have. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they have.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Shy's gotten more than, you know, 2 or 3 kills all map so far.
Yeah, we should wake up Marcel and be like, Marcel, give us the update. Where's Shy on the ranking? And a lot of this is not even his fault. It's just Seoul being... Oh, man, you hate to see it.
That's the saddest Bob I've ever seen.
I know. His shoulders just slumped over. He's just like, he hacked me.
Like, cue the Charlie Brown music from Arrested Development or whatever, you know? Or that was like what was playing in my mind when I was watching Bob slumped on the point there.
Nice immortality field from Creative. Marvel is about to go down and still might go down. Still under a whole lot of pressure, but the Prophet off of the flank. Deadeye's up and forces the Spark back. Gives Marvel some breathing room, and he finds Gushue, who is hacked, by the way, again.
Why not?
Oh, boy.
And the Prophet tried to go for the 1v1 against Shy, but had to get behind the shield. He couldn't do it. He stayed alive, and that's the important thing. Seoul Dynasty have taken the Spark down to just 1 minute remaining in the time bank now. It is do or die for the Spark. And even then, TP, they've got to get all the way through point C. I mean, Seoul, unless there's some sort of like miracle for the Spark, Seoul seems to have this map locked up.
Shatter in for Marvel. Marvel again under pressure. Creative with a great immortality field.
He's down.
Still not going to be enough to save Marvel. They focus him down. Both teams down 1. Prophet in the back, firing away. Fitz, though, has the EMP. Creative's down. You're going to drop the EMP to try and turn it. You do it now. Oh, Bernard's just having none of it, Doa.
Oh, MCD gets caught, but I don't think there's enough people from Seoul left alive to really contest this. We'll see. No, I think he kind of just let this go. You've taken enough time. Wow, they're gonna take even more time off the time bank here. You know, why not? Why not, right?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they're gonna go for the miracle. Wait. Fitz is on Tracer.
Whoa,
got
wait
80K. There's no way. Surely not. At the very least, it's going to drain
Wait a second.
I think this is good. They're not going to get the point back, but they still force Bernard to invest in Graviton. It just drains the Spark a little bit more, Doa, where the Spark are already fighting from behind.
Yeah, I mean, on point B as well, you'll be able to take that fight. You won't be able to take it right at the choke immediately like a lot of teams like to, but you'll be able to take it about halfway through maybe. So Seoul Dynasty with plenty of time to set up. You can see Guangzhou already trying to zone out a little bit, trying to keep an eye on where they're going to go. But the big thing, like we were talking about, so much time eating off the time bank. Just 2 minutes now for Spark, and they've got to get through point B. But the real thing is, even if Spark get through point B, which is not too difficult on Kings Row, it's C that's really going to be the sticking point. But Seoul Dynasty is willing to try to make him use more time right here.
Yeah, I mean, time is the name of the game here, and Spark are behind. They can't waste too much time here on point B. And all right, Architect is... He'll be back to the fight someday. He had to go for a long time to find a health pack.
It's a flank, CP. It's a long flank, all right?
Yep. Guangzhou.
It's a very, very long flank.
Drops the mines, Onabo. Drops the beat. Both teams getting into it. Marvel this time focused down in a hurry. Not going to get saved by Creative. 6 on 5 for the Spark. This would be huge if they could win this here. And now there's a stick from Architect to the side, but Fitz is still alive. I don't know if Fitz alone could do this. He's under a lot of pressure, but Fitz in the back.
He's good, but I don't know if he's that good. Yeah, there we go.
Gone.
He's not 1v5 good, but you notice something, ZP, is that these fights don't really seem designed to win team fights. It just seems designed to delay. This seems like just a bunch of engagements to just stick on the point as long as possible and eat the seconds off the clock. I don't even know if Seoul is necessarily too concerned about stopping the payload on point B here. They're going to get one more fight. Yeah, they don't.
You bring up a good point, is that if they drain the clock, they give themselves a really easy win condition on point C. Obviously, that's like win on point B, but you know, you can play the odds a little bit going, we drain the clock, we keep our options open for point C.
Ooh, there it is.
Shy finally gets some revenge, takes down Fitz. And that's what Sparks needed.
Walled out Bob. It's still a 5v6 here, though.
18 seconds left to go. Architect in the back line. Seoul still down Fitz, who's running back into the fight. Marvel focused down. And this should be a pretty easy point B take for the Spark. They're way ahead in momentum for this point, but now they don't have a whole lot of time for point C, Doa, and all Seoul needs is really, you know, one good fight, maybe two.
Yep, and you know, I think Seoul, you know, of course it's always nice to win the map right there, but they did kind of accomplish that secondary objective of running all the time out on the time bank. It was down to overtime again, or at least like 1 second away maybe. Minefield ready to go for Guangzhou. Might have an opportunity here. Oh my goodness,
looking for the setup.
It's coming from behind.
Meanwhile, speed boost Deadeye. Guangzhou might be in danger. Guangzhou got out. Just barely.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, though, Fitz got shot to start things out. Graviton. Bomb! It's big! Architect gets 2! Going off to the side.
3. And the mech.
This is really, really nice. There's going to be a nice window of opportunity for the Spark now, Doa. However, the delay from Prophet actually kind of big. That's going to let 4 members of the Dynasty get back up. But still completable now for the Spark.
Yeah, I don't know about Animo running in there at the end. I don't know if they needed that. The Widowmaker from Prophet. Here we go. If he can get a pick, even like 1 or 2 picks is going to be plenty here. I don't know who he expects to see up there, but...
Yeah, well, Guangzhou chasing him down probably wasn't his ideal. But now the surprise factor's gone Shy.
Bob, honestly. Oh, that Transcendence, though, feels a little bit early from MCD. They might want that one a little bit later, unless they can pick some kills off here. Shy goes for it. Guangzhou gets Fitz. Oh, this is big. Another minefield. Prophet gets 2, though.
Yeah, Prophet on the Widow. Gets the 1 pick he's looking for. Architect, though, still post bomb here on the point.
They gotta get
looking around. Gonna get the D-Mech. Still waiting on to post bomb. Spark with the advantage. Animo knocks Bernard to the pit. Massive from Animo, but he pays the price. Shy with 2. Shy coming alive towards the end. How long can Seoul delay? Right now it's just Fitz and Marvel rotating around. Fitz gets caught, and now Marvel gonna start spinning the win it, trying to buy a little bit of time, and Mortality Field comes out. Creative back into the fight. Marvel goes down. It's emergency. Roadhog and Prophet gets another. Prophet back to the Widowmaker. Seoul, can you delay?
I mean, the Architect out of the Architect. Oh no, the poop onto Tuyu. And it looks like they're going to get it across the line. Seems inevitable. Yep, they will. So 1 minute, the time bank now given over to Spark on this hybrid map. And Seoul Dynasty, after a really impressive point A hold, I feel like they kind of gave B away a little bit there. And then C just did not go their way at all. So I think, you know, when we were looking back at that, it did seem like Seoul wasn't that concerned about B, but at the end of the day, you gotta come together on the final point then. You can't let that happen. And now Spark, less time in the time bank, but they've still got an opportunity here to tie up the series.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, Dynasty, the one thing I'd go back and wonder on, where I get why you would swap, like, a lot of times you won't see teams run Sombra and entire King's Row, but I do wonder if staying on the Sombra was the right move, simply because Guangzhou is so important for the Spark to get things set up. And, while the Dynasty was on the Sombra, it wasn't happening for Guangzhou. Guangzhou knows it, and expecting the Sombra on point A, look at the change-up coming in here for the Spark that I think is really smart. Guangzhou isn't going to be opening up on the ball here from the looks of it. Going to be opening up on the Winston instead. This is a good adaptation to the last point A.
I mean, look at, they've got Shy on Reaper as well. That's going to be a little bit more resilient versus the Sombra 2. So we'll see some changes being made. And that's kind of what Spark needs to do. Now we'll see if Seoul can respond. Architect taking a couple shots. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him swap. Yep, he does go over to the Sombra himself.
This is an interesting composition. It's Moira, Lucio. This is all about diving in heavily, not really giving Seoul much room at all.
Yep,
especially
they want to take the point
Reaper.
A fast. Yeah. They want to just get in there, win one fight, be a bulldozer, get as much time on the payload as they can. Guangzhou really low though.
He might get away with it. They just turned the pressure on the Bernard after Guangzhou ran out of the fight. Shy gets caught, and Profit, plenty of room here on top. And why would you do that, IDK? Why?
Woo. Wow, that was beautiful.
You don't come at the king like that. It does not work that way.
I guess not. Wow. Seoul Dynasty wins that fight pretty one-sidedly, and now they've just got to defend a little bit more. Spark should be able to get back to touch, and the fight will continue. We'll see if they can make it. They do get the overtime going.
Overtime in progress. They must stay on the point. Still a long way for Cole, and Guangzhou just focused, fired down. And the point presence from Seoul is overwhelming at the moment. The Spark needs some for a miracle pick, and it's not happening. Shy just immediately taken down. MCD still a bit away from the Cole, and I'm not sure how much longer Spark can stay on the point, but certainly the Cole is not coming through.
I mean, that was kind of a party sound barrier at the end there, just to celebrate Seoul Dynasty winning yet another fight. I think I feel like Fitz and Profit have IDK kind of downloaded too. They know he likes coming across the back of the point up on the second level like that. A lot of Lucios do, and they were ready for him both times, whether it was a flashbang or the hack. So I think it's those little adaptations too that really help Seoul win that pretty handily. And now all they need is just a first tick here on point A to go up 2-0 in this series.
Yeah, mere 33%. And, this is where time bank on hybrid really does matter to a degree, because the difference in a minute 52 versus a minute is quite substantial when you're only going for 33%. Seoul can play this more waiting for good ultimates to force just one good fight in a way that they wouldn't be able to do if they only had 1 minute. So we'll see what they run out with. I kind of doubt it's going to be the Clara Widow, but maybe it will be. Creative showing mercy.
See what you're doing.
That would be interesting. I mean, on the one hand, you do certainly have the ability to make some picks. If they're expecting like a Sombra on the other side, that kind of thing, it's tougher to be in range to make a little bit of a difference. I mean, if they're listening, they should hear the McCree at least.
I do like one aspect of running something like Widow Farah is that if you do the usual thing and you decade, hey, we're going to, well, it doesn't even matter. Gone over to the Hangzhou and the May. I'll save it for another time.
Sonic Arrow shows. Yeah. Sonic Arrow, they're going to spot Guangzhou in the hotel on Reinhardt. That's going to be some good information. And Fitz looks like he might just stay on it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, where you only need one pick to win the fight, I mean, it's not a bad idea. They have time to look for it, and if anyone's going to find it, it's going to be Fitz.
I'm a little bit surprised, though. I feel like, with McCree working so well, why not just stay on that? You've only got 30 seconds more. Well, about 52 seconds, rather, more than Spark had. Oh, but Architect down. Never mind. Forget everything I said. There's the pick. That's all they need.
Dynasty now has nearly unstoppable point presence. I mean, the Spark, they're going to start sacrificing players one after another. Yeah, Guangzhou was the first sacrifice, and there's soon to be others, Noah, but the end result, all the same. The Dynasty take map 2, and they are well on their way to a 3-0.
Yeah, and, you know, where Control looked a little bit up and down, that Seoul Dynasty, you know, again, there were a couple little missteps on the defense, but overall, Seoul looked very good, I think, on this map, showing us a lot of really tight, well-executed engages. Defense got a little bit sloppy, but, you know, when it came down to it, they won the map pretty handily. So we'll see if they can make it a 3-0. You know, with you and IZP, that would be a par for the course, but I'm hoping we get a couple more games. We'll find out in just a few when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Game 3 between the Spark and the Dynasty coming at you right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by State Farm. For auto, home, or renters insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. So much flavor, it's a mind crunch. TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League. And by NetApp, the official data management partner of the Overwatch League.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch League. Doa and ZP here with you. Seoul Dynasty 2-0 right now over the Hangzhou Spark. And you know what, ZP? I'm getting a little bit worried for the Spark because they've had a few people playing pretty well. You know, we were talking about that during the break. But it just seems like overall Seoul kind of has their number tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah, Seoul's playing out of their minds. Have neutralized arguably their best weapon in Shy. They've made Gushue really work for his engages with heavy focus fire. And then, you know, on top of it all, you just talk about the difference between both teams. It feels like everyone in Seoul is having a good night today, whereas for Spark, the two people that have really stood out the most have been, you know, Bernard and MCD. But other than that, the rest of Spark, they've been struggling.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Gushue in particular, because we talked earlier about we know he's good on the Winston, but it just seems like the Wrecking Ball, you know, if there's a Sombra on the other side, Fitz has been doing a good job of handling that. And if you can force him off the Wrecking Ball, you know, those old playmaking, you know, moments that we used to see him bring on the Winston just didn't happen. So I kind of wonder there. I wonder a little bit if that's sort of like a crack in the armor for Spark tonight too.
Yeah, I mean, I think one potential take on this, too, is just the idea that Spark came in, they thought that, you know, this ball-heavy composition would be better than it has been. I mean, I think to some degree you have to look at the compositions both teams are playing, just go like, yep, Seoul looks better. And, you know, the upside for Spark is that, you know, should they lose this, you know, they're only down one match so far in the Summer Showdown. They can bounce back. But, you know, I do think this is something where if you get beat this decisively, where the mechanical skill difference between the two teams shouldn't be that great, you got to look at strategy and what went wrong there, because a lot of this has felt like a coaching difference between the two teams.
It could be. I mean, Seoul Dynasty, especially their attack on point A on King's Row, was just so well executed that it definitely does seem like it comes down to just crisp execution that comes from good practice, comes from repetition, right? And comes, honestly, from watching footage. I mean, they seem to have a really good idea about where Shy was going to be on that map on point A and handled it well. So...
Well, they knew where Shy was going to be prior to Shy knowing where Shy was going to be for a lot of that, because Shy was just immediately dispatched. It was not pretty. It was a tough run.
I really want to go back and watch that more later on, because they just did such a good job of being like the puppet masters for Spark, right? Where the first teleport pushed most of Spark, except for Shy, who was up on the second level, pushed him back, you know, into the room, and then the second teleport took him up to the 61 on Shy. Oh, here's the rules, by the way, if you're wondering about the rules for Junkertown. Oh, never mind. We're seeing that on our screen. But on your screen, you're seeing that we're going to Junkertown. That's right. Next map is going to be our payload map. And here we go. This map can get a little bit crazy sometimes, EP.
Yep, and also, do you like Widow battles? Because you might just get one here.
I do.
And the interesting part here... Yeah, I was just going to say, the interesting part is that if Prophet comes out here on the Ashe, man, it puts so much pressure on Architect to get things done on the Tracer, because Shy is not going to be living his best life under the double threat of Fitz and Prophet looking for him. So if Architect can't get to the back line and pressure either Fitz or Prophet, well, never mind. It's just going to be me. Throw that all out the window.
That's an interesting stat, too, that we just saw on the screen, where if Spark doesn't win a map, they don't win the series. All the losses to Seoul apparently have been 3-0s. I know the last one was. I didn't go farther back than that, but it looks like Spark 3-0 or 0-3 or a win, basically. But this Widow battle between Fitz and Shy, I feel like, has been a couple maps in the making now. You know, they've been wanting that 1v1. We got to see a taste of it on King's Row. Maybe, Prophet says, no, I'm going to go ahead and try to fight that duel anyway.
That's a 1v1 in air quotes, Noah. It's like a 1v1 where Fitz has bought like all the DLC and pay to win, because he's getting a way bigger team difference. IDK immediately taken out. Shy able to fight creative. Prophet, though, unchecked, gets MCD. And Seoul, all the while, getting good payload progress. And yeah, I'm curious about the status of both Widows right now. But again, the way the pressure difference has been between both teams, it has not been even.
You know, we'd see a little bit more attention being paid. Oh, Prophet gets burner. We see another bit of attention being paid towards MCD right now. I think Seoul's been watching him make plays. Shy finds one onto Fitz. That's what they were looking for. But there's no fight.
Also, what?
There's just no fight.
Not only that, but IDK looked like he was on the payload. That was really weird. The game said otherwise, I suppose.
I think there was a last-minute attempt to just stop it. I think they were going to try to take the fight there, but yep, clearly that did not happen. Fitz with a high noon and a swap to the Hangzhou here for point B. Profit over on the Tracers. So Seoul Dynasty with a plan already going into each point with how they want to handle this. That was a nice accretion. Wow, we actually hit Gouche with that.
Yeah, we'll see if Shy is going to be able to deal with both the Hangzhou and Tracer here, where, you know, the upside here for Seoul is that Fitz can play more with this team and just put on good shield pressure, good front line in a way that a Widow can't really do. Both teams trying out here. Transcendence in progress here for the Spark. It's a very aggressive Transcendence, and the Dynasty don't really care. They're just able to huddle up, withstand it, and immediately counter-engage.
Oh my gosh, CP. That was crazy. Seoul Dynasty just has no fear at this point. They are just disrespecting Spark with how aggressive they're being, just walking up on them like this. I think Spark's shaking here. 4 minutes still in the time bank, and it looks like they're going to take.
There we go. I was about to say Shy should probably
swap. Should I get there? They're going to let him have it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think they wanted to go in on that. That would have been basically just speeding out Charge. I mean, now they're going to have Hangzhou v Hangzhou here, and I think Shy needed to do that at the very least to neutralize the front end of the battle, because with the shield presence that Seoul has right now, Widow just wasn't going to get shots, whereas at least Hangzhou, you know, could be a mix of both shield pressure and, you know, finding pickoffs here and there.
Yeah, very true. Architect getting kind of shut down a little bit. I mean, with the double shield composition, it's almost a little bit similar to the pirate ship of old, where you get a couple shield tanks and sit on the payload like that. But it does make it much harder for the Tracer to come in and cause problems. Yeah, you see the accretion from Sigma, from 2U, just forcing Gushway out, and Profit finishes the job. Oh my goodness, he's got a pulse bomb.
The job is not finished until everyone is gone, Doa. Profit is a completionist. Shy out of the fight. Profit still lurking around. Has the pulse bomb.
There it is.
Takes down the Brigida. Does he consider the job finished yet? No. Again, he's a professional. Goes for Bernard. Still moving around. Sees an enemy Tracer. Why not finish it off? When you order Profit, you get full service, Doa.
CP, it is a massacre on Junkertown right now. I think they've maybe gotten like 1 kill, 2 kills on the Spark side. There goes Gouche again. Fitz just unafraid.
Oh, no!
They can't even contest. 4 minutes. 4 minutes CP on the time bank. That's got to be close to a record, if not a record.
Yeah, that was fast. There wasn't a whole lot of stalling or stopping going on the entire time.
I need to know if that was a record or not, because that payload didn't stop. It didn't stop the entire time. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's not possible for the Spark to bring things back, but not only would it be a reverse sweep, Doa, they got to deal with the absolute disaster that's this Junkertown. Easier said than done.
Yeah. I know all of our stats people are asleep right now. I'm putting it in our chat anyway. I need to find out if that was a record, because that was, I don't know if I've seen a Junkertown that fast. In a long time. Maybe it's not, but that was fast either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly one of the fastest we've seen this season. I think that is a safe statement to make, Doa.
Sure.
But now it's going to be Spark on the attack, where, I mean, realistically, even if the Dynasty were basically to just leave the field, the Spark would probably set a slower time. So this is a really tough mountain to climb if you're the Spark, but we'll see if they have it in them. And, you know, part of that, though, is going to be, can Shy have a, you know, just radical performance of Widow? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Stop the payload.
All right,
Fitz looks bored.
Fitz does look a little bit bored. I've got a feeling they're going to be able to give him some action. Now, the thing is Gouche gets hacked right away. Is he going to go back and swap? Doesn't look like it. He's brave enough to go into play into that Sombra.
Hey there.
Architect also on the Sombra, coming in from the back. A little bit of pressure on both sides, and Shy connects, finds Profit. That's a good start.
Yep. Shy looking intense here. Gets forced away. Ooh, nearly goes down. Architect does find Marvel, though. He gets the kill anyway in the end. So good start for Spark. As they're able to get the payload moving. Yeah, strong team fight win. They needed that.
if you're the Dynasty and you don't get arrogant at all, and you just think about playing your win conditions, you could just see the Dynasty play a style that's not even as focused on winning team fights as much as it is as draining time off the clock, because if they just play the drain and stall, they're going to be massively ahead of this map.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, we actually do see Junkertown go to extra innings pretty frequently, I feel like. That said, Seoul obviously would love to end it right here, but they're going to need a better fight than the one they just had. It's been the pressure onto Marvel that's worked best for Spark so far, it seems like. Wow.
There's the call. The shot calling is, hey, we're all going to go in on Shy. He's off to the side, and Shy gets no help. Shy gets run over. And the way that Seoul is engaging this is that even if they lose the fight, they're using the buildings for cover. It's going to buy a whole lot of time. It's already forced out the Transcendence and the Vines from Gushue. And yeah, Spark is starting to turn the fight, but look at the payload. It has not been moving far.
Yeah, starting to move again now. I was a little bit worried about the Transcendence from MCD, but they did have enough people up to keep the fight going and win this one. Looks like it should be point A soon.
All right, so the Spark keep the payload moving. They're going to be getting point A, and under normal circumstances, this would be all right. But you think about the huge time differential they're up against, and they still got a long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, they really do. Shy, Dragon Strike, locked and loaded.
Win here on
Let's
the
see
top.
if they find a time to use that. I mean, they've got some tools here. Seoul Dynasty, where they have looked a little bit softer on the defense today. Maybe that's because it's tougher to have those plans. Fitz still making a pick. Yep, Fitz and Prophet just decide to swap champions apparently, or swap heroes here for this one.
Also, Marvel, you look at him. He really wants to just jump off the top and drop the shatter.
Oh, of course.
It's stats padding time.
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
That's a vibe I'm getting.
Nope. Sober check. Doesn't find one.
I'm going to fan the hammer in this general direction, and maybe I'll hit her.
Yep. Oh, that nearly pushed Marvel into it. That was a nice attempt by Gushue, actually, to push Marvel into the Dragon Strike. They tried.
Oh, Shadow Pierce takes down 4!
Yeah, they didn't see that one
shatter.
coming.
Nope.
Yep, that's right. And the Gravitic Flux, not enough to get anything in return, and that is a clean teamfight win for Seoul.
Yeah, also at some point here, that was well done by Seoul, but I have to be wondering how much of Spark's head is still in the game, because they got speed ran on the first round, and they are getting stalled out here. To bring this back, even in this map, would be quite epic for the Spark at this point, because it's not looking good.
They had a decent point A, but I agree. Your mental is definitely going to be a bit boomed at this point. But you know, this is what separates like the good from the best, right? I mean, you need to be a pro here. Wow, Sonic Arrow takes out Prophet. I guess they know where he is now. He's 6 feet under. But you know, if you're a team in the situation that Spark's in, you got to dig deep, right? You have to kind of say, you know what, goldfish brain, as Baby Bay used to say back in the day, and take it one map at a time, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the attention span of Atlanta as a whole, as a team in the Overwatch League, where they have a lot of just like strong brute energy. Not a lot of think, a lot of muscle. Roll into the other team.
It's a concept that you just can't hold on to the losses. Like a map might be a loss, but that doesn't mean that the next one's going to be.
Yeah,
you have to keep that in mind. Otherwise, they're all going to be losses.
Well, Deadeye's coming out for Prophet again, going to be slowing things down a little bit at the very least. Sees on the other side, decides no. Dragon Strike comes in, Seoul just rotates around, they drop the beat. And here it comes to you. Bomb, over the top. Good deal to shield, nothing but
EMP though.
Yeah, EMP's pretty good. Marvel goes down immediately, but Prophet takes down Shy, gets caught at the same time. Spark, the thing about this is, though, Spark's getting consistent progress. The problem is time-wise, it's not ideal. Now, all that being said, no matter what Dynasty is ahead on time, they do need to have a stop here on point C. You don't want to go the extra rounds, because the one way of making a time bank irrelevant is just having a really long overtime push, which Junkertown is infamous for.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was saying earlier, we do see this go to extra rounds a lot of times, right? So Seoul definitely does feel the pressure to stop it right here. And I think Spark is starting to realize that, they're not out of it just yet. Nice minefield from Gushue. That's going to make it difficult for Seoul to maneuver here. Now the Gravitic Flux comes in. MCD and Shy down though. Wow, Marvel just doesn't care. He goes down eventually, but he charges off to Valhalla, a successful warrior, as Spark goes back to spawn.
Yeah, that was Lord of the Rings Boromir energy there. Just charges like, my king!
That's right. He saved the wee ones there.
Well. Seoul
I guess
still
everybody's a hobbit
spot.
to Reinhardt. He's a pretty big guy.
That's true. Fitz going over the top. Oh, pulse bomb just a little bit. Oh no, he's going for Zen. Waiting. Oh, he doesn't get the one clip. All that's set up for nothing. This is pulse bomb
was a nice
now,
attempt. Yeah, I got the pulse bomb. Actually, some good poise there to not to use it. He saw the shield was on the wrecking ball, knew that the pulse bomb probably wouldn't be enough to finish him, and why not
also,
hold on to it?
No, this is a lot of time going on with not a lot happening. No!
I mean,
take that trade if you're the defense. You're happy with that.
Boromir energy, right? Pulse bomb delivered.
It's the Boromir meta. We're just living in it.
That's right. Yeah, it's a Boromir meta. Yep. Yeah. He whispered for Gondor at the end.
1 minute left to go. The horns may be blowing, Doha, because I gotta tell you.
That's right.
Spark have a ways to go, and they have not done much here on point C.
EMP. Come in for Architect. All right.
Spy's already
Marvel down immediately.
Down.
The sound barrier didn't get to Marvel, though.
No, and EMP's still kind of working out here for the Spark. Everyone's still alive, moving forward. The problem is that they can cleanly take this, and the Dynasty still have one, if not two fights that completely stall this out, let alone the huge time bank advantage they have should we go next rounds.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we know it's going to be OT already. I mean, maybe Seoul Dynasty got a little bit of a vision of the white tree of Ecthelion burning there, but that vision doesn't need to become a reality, ZP. They can stave off the disaster right now.
Yep, this is going to keep going on. The Lord of the Ring references.
It's Lord of the Rings right now, yep. We're in OT.
Until we get over to Mount Doom, and okay, well, Fitz takes down Architect immediately. The end
huge.
may be nigh.
Quite possibly. MCD has to pop the Transcendence. It was either that or die to Fitz's Tracer. Tracer.
Oh, they're on top for 2U. Fitz gets caught. Shatter in. Prophet finds Shy. Spark hanging in pretty evenly here is a big pickup from MCD, but the Deadeye Prophet just saying no. He's completely denying the Spark. One pickoff after another. Architect finally shuts him down, but the respawns are coming in, and the Dynasty have nearly sealed this one shut.
They
That's
have.
A sweep.
That is it. The Seoul Dynasty get the 3-0 over Hangzhou Spark. I gotta say, mad respect to MCD at the end there. He knew that it was either kill the McCree during Deadeye or die himself. At that point, you have to take the fight, and he was close. That was very close. But Seoul Dynasty just looking, I think head and shoulders a better team today. Better execution, better individual plays. Definitely some stuff to be positive about on the Spark side of things. But Seoul Dynasty, making it look a little bit on the easy side today, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is a team, look, I was like, oh, well, I think Dynasty might buck some trends here, and, maybe we'll see them in the Summer Showdown tournament. If they play this well, Doha, I think you can pretty much book it, but you know what? It is just beginning the Summer Showdown, so, Overwatch yet to be played, but if you're a fan of the Dynasty, you're liking what you saw here tonight.
I mean, the thing is we're not bucking any trends now. Yet another 3-0 for us. We thought we escaped the curse yesterday. We had, the longest night we've had yet as a duo here, but now today, 3-0 again. What can you say? But it was a fun one. Some 3-0 ZP feel kind of bad. Some feel satisfying. And I feel like this one was very satisfying because it came on the back of just generally very good execution from Seoul Dynasty, which is what I love to see. I mean, the individual plays are great, but when you see teams coming together like that, making these set plays and making them look good, that's where I get really excited about Overwatch. That's where Overwatch in my mind is at its peak, where you have these plans that you execute. It goes great. It's fun stuff. Yeah, and we've got our player of the match now. It's going to be 2U. That's right. The flex tank for Seoul Dynasty getting a little bit of love here as he will be our player of the match. And had a lot of good moments for sure. Oh, like that one. Oh, Somansu is coming in with the E, and he just happened to get caught by the edge of the back. That's actually hilarious.
So here's the best reasoning I have for why 2U is player of the match. 2U is player of the match because Shy is not player of the match. He was a huge part of the Shy Erasure project, where Shy just got completely crushed, and a lot of that had to do with the front line of the Dynasty just hunting it down at all points, and you got to give props to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he's versatile too, right? We see him playing on multiple different flex tanks. He played, I think, one of the most aggressive Sigmas I've seen in a while, and it's difficult sometimes to play Sigma aggressively because he's more fragile than he looks. And so to be able to do that, to be able to make the plays that he made, 2U definitely a big part of it. And honestly, like, you look across the board on the Seoul Dynasty, and everybody was making plays tonight. Everyone was playing their role pretty much to perfection. And you mentioned playoffs earlier. It's exciting seeing Seoul Dynasty 2-0 here. They've been so close, right? They've been so close to a championship. This is a good sign. It's a good move in the right direction for them.
Yeah, the only caveat there is that Seoul does have that streak of inconsistency at times where you look at this like, man, they really look good. And is this all just a build up to a just absolutely tragic loss later in the qualifiers? The answer is maybe. We've seen it before, but if you're a Seoul fan, you're going, maybe not this time. Maybe this is the time that everything goes our way.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, at the East region in general, we tend to see a little bit of a roller coaster of results from all of the teams. So, we'll see if that continues or not. But I believe we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it's crunch time. So don't go anywhere. Overwatch League returns right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Xfinity, the preferred internet provider of the Overwatch League.
We have returned here on the Overwatch League. Doa and ZP here with you for a game break presented by Cheez-It Grooves. We just got to see a 3-0 from Seoul Dynasty. They looked very strong team-wide, but in your mind, ZP, Fitz is the one that really stood out, huh?
Yeah, and that leads us to our crunch time, where it was Fitz, and he was doing a lot of crunching across the board, where he was public enemy #1 for the Spark, and unlike Shy, who was getting contained by the Dynasty, the Spark didn't really have a whole lot of answers for Fitz, where it didn't matter, was it on the Symmetra, was it on the McCree, was it on the Sombra later on, Fitz, player of many talents, looking good regardless of what he was on.
I think getting your whole team roasted by Symmetra definitely qualifies as a brain crunch, right, or a mind crunch. I can't remember exactly what Silly says, but either way, your mind is crunched in some capacity. But Fitz looking really good. We talked about the matchup being Fitz versus Shy coming into this one, and Fitz definitely got the better end of that a lot. But it really was a team effort. I mean, this was probably one of my favorite series that we've gotten to cast all year long, because it was just such a good mix of individual plays like we're seeing in this highlight reel, but also just very, very good, crisp team play as well. And like I said before, that's where I get the most excited about Overwatch for sure, is when I get to see the team come together for some really good execution. Very cool stuff. I mean,
and that's the interesting thing about Overwatch and, a lot of games really, is that, even the score doesn't always tell the tale, because, yeah, this is one-sided, but it was the good type of one side where, like, Seoul was very entertaining to watch. You go, they're doing everything by the book. Like, you like watching a team put on a good show, whereas what you don't like to see is that we've had 5-map series where it's just chaos, and in the bad way. Like, players are not doing the right thing at the right time. Teams look awful, and it's just a contest of bad plays rather than good plays. But this was just one team being really in sync over the Spark, where, yeah, the Spark had issues, but, their issues did not overshadow just how well the Dynasty was playing.
Yep, that's right. Great series, but we're not done yet. You and I are done, actually. That's it for us this week, but don't worry, we've got Vicky, Kitty, and Joss coming at you very soon for Chengdu Hunters taking on Guangzhou Charge, and then the match after that as well. So a lot more Overwatch League yet to go here today. Do not go anywhere. The Overwatch League returns right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. So much flavor, it's a mind crunch.
on Elsa Kaneki. Oh man, goes in, gets the Death Blossom, takes out 3, and that should just be it. Shy's taking a nap at the moment. Yeah, it's just gonna go ahead and start ticking up.
Not easy as well. I mean, it's Mandu having to put it in the pack, steal pretty slowly, down a play coming on through. Pretty good so far. Needs to get a few more slashes.
Yeah, does manage to take that gesture. Right click's coming out. Fitz surviving for a little bit longer than he might have anticipated, but does fall in the end.
Look at this Gargus, and he knows he's got Primal though, so he's fine.
Oh yeah, he's trying to juke out the sleep start, it would look like here. Deny the entrance into
beautiful.
the spawn room. Yeah, juggles MCD around. Perfectly done by him. Second tier 4 now, but as they continue to advance, they are just slowly plowing their way through this Seoul Dynasty. Have gotten the first point lockdown, but they're going to give this up pretty quickly here as they continue to just bleed numbers. Rank Gesture now going to be taken out, and yeah, that is just going to be Guangzhou Charge taking this away with relative ease.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Overwatch League. We're here in the East region, and we're going to go on to our second series, Jaws. Chengdu Hunters versus the Guangzhou Charge. We're going to bring you guys the action for the rest of the day.
Yeah, so the rest of the night, technically, I guess, for us at least. If you're in Europe right now, you're just rising up from your slumber to catch some mighty fine Overwatch. Yeah, it's the Charge and the Hunters, Vicky. It's going to be exciting. We saw a little bit of a different look from the Hunters yesterday, Vicky. Taro Cookie, who's just joined the roster, stepped in. He's going to be starting for them today as well.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting to see how they're going to be able to incorporate Taro Cookie and how they're going to build into that synergy. You know, Taro Cookie, he's here promoted from Team Chaser to the Overwatch League on a 2-way contract for the Hunters. So they have to keep that into consideration when it comes to building up this team. Currently, you see the starting lineup here. Aside from Taro Cookie, it's going to be Leave, Ameng, Late Young, Farway, and Nisha.
Yeah, Among starting in the roster as well. Gaga came in this season just explosive, blowing every other tank out of the water. So having Among in is a little bit of a shock to me, honestly. We've seen him a couple of times before here and there, but Gaga's performances have just been above and beyond, I think, what Hunters have kind of experienced in the past. So maybe they got something special with Among. Of course, known for the Wrecking Ball a long time ago, or what feels like a long time ago at this point, and when Ball wasn't really played a whole bunch. So we'll see what they want to bring out. And there you go. Taro Cookie on the DPS. I'm excited. Can he make a massive impact? He didn't have a great showing yesterday, but that could all change today.
Yeah, and looking at the other side here, we got the Guangzhou Charge now. The 8-man team, as I see them, you know, being able to stand out here with Eileen, Choisewan, Krong, Rio, Kariv, and Mandu. Kariv also just having such an outstanding performance. I mean, the Sandman on Ana for a reason here. But looking at the way this series is going to play out, Jaws, after seeing yesterday unfold with the Hunters, what is your opinion here? Going into this upcoming matchup, what are you expecting? Because, you know, these two teams, they haven't seen each other, if I recall correctly, in almost a year now. It's been since last July.
Yeah, not recently, that is for sure. I mean, yesterday, Kariv was struggling just a little bit. He was trying to carry his game on his Ana, yeah, but he wasn't having that much of a good time.
Yeah.
That's also a lot of focus fire. Normally, you want to focus fire down the supports first, of course, take them out of the picture, and then your whole team has a lot less survivability and sustainability to stay in the fights for longer. And we're also seeing Choice One too. His echo was ridiculous over his first few debut games, but he's been stuck on the Mei. A little bit disappointing, not gonna lie. I'd rather see him frag on the Echo, but his Mei isn't bad whatsoever. But it has been Eileen, the linchpin of the Charge, that has just been taking over games, and that's going to be the main focus, I think, for the Hunters, trying to contain Eileen, trying to contain Choice One as well. But that's a bit of a heavy burden, really, for Taro Cookie, if you think about it. He's only just come into the team, and this is his second time playing on the roster, and he's going up against these Goliaths in Eileen and Choice One. Leave and Jimmy have just been so crazy for the Hunters, and really been not also linchpin again, but they've really been the best performing players on the Hunters team. And
is Leave going to be able to kind of guide Taro Cookie through this series? Because I really worry if he's going up against Choice of One and going up against Eileen, Taro might struggle like he did yesterday.
And look at that. The Hunters have never won any of the maps in this set here currently versus the Charge, so that's something to take into consideration because things have changed here. And after the performance that we've seen from Charge yesterday, I'm excited here, Jaws. I mean, they're going to be able to carry some of that momentum now going into a new day. Already starting things off here, looking at this roster. They're going to be diving right in. It's going to be Rio who's going to take this roof. He's going to make sure that they're not going to have control here. The Hunters already trying to make their way over to the point. They're just trying to find the skirmishes, but it's going to be the Hunters who find Mandu here, and that's a great start. Considering the Charge now, they wanted to get that position advantage, and unfortunately, they're going to get booted out of that.
Well, that was a really nice pick there from far away, picking off Mandu to start off with, and then Kariv died as well, almost instantaneously. Nice little reset now for the Charge. There's a Amog is in spawn trying to deal with Choice at one. He should be able to get picked up though. I mean, you force the recall and Leave can just hunt him down. So that burns off a little bit more time. Choice at one definitely should have just died or tried to regroup back near the spawn. He's wasted a fair bit of percent here, and that's every little bit of percent matters on Control, Vicky. The first team to cap the point normally ends up coming out on top, just the way you're able to roll on with your ult bank. You can see already 30% before Charge can actually re-engage with their dive call.
Talking about re-engaging, it's going to be Rio who's going to take a lot of that damage because of this Discord orb, but it's going to be Leave with the pulse bomb. Choice of One putting in some pressure onto Tarakuki in the back, but the fact that they've lost Rio here could spell doom. Now Krong's demeched, and that's going to have to be another reset here, considering that we have the Hunters now trying to take their way, and it's Nisha with the Valkyrie. They get the res, and I love the way that we're currently seeing the Hunters play so aggressively. Not only did they win that first team fight, but now they've been able to waste so much time away from the Charge. They're going to be able to dive back in, though, with the EMP, looking at Eileen and Choice of One with the Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, Mandu's under so much pressure as well. You saw him have to fade away fairly early, and Leave was chasing him down. Leave carrying that last fight, though, with the Pulse Bomb onto Rio. And of course, there's no resurrection on the Charge side either. They haven't got that Mercy, so a main tank going down that early is disastrous. Eileen setting up with the EMP, though. This could be big.
Trying to get an angle right here, trying to get right behind, tries to isolate Faraway, as Faraway could get the Transcendence for this fight, gets the hack anyways, but you currently have Blake Young, who's right there to help peel for Faraway. Nisha's out, and they're so fixated on the back line. And then, now being able to get the minefield, try to block this rotation from the Charge. Eileen's still holding on to that Pulse Bomb. They've lost Prong and Choice of One, and they're still going to be able to pull the trigger on it, but they didn't isolate Faraway, and that was the crucial key here, because now the Hunters are going to stay in this fight, and it's already overtime, Jaws.
Yeah, OT's ticking down as well. A perfectly timed Transcendence from far away. It looked like the Charge had thought the fight was won. Kariv managed to pop the Coalescence and find a kill. And they thought, well, hey, maybe if we don't use the EMP here, we can kind of snowball this. But it ever so slight. They were like losing the threads in an old jumper that you find under the cupboard. And the problem was that you don't activate the EMP, you don't isolate far away, and then it all kind of unravels and just falls apart. One person gets picked, the second one gets picked, and the Charge just don't really know what to do with themselves. And then Eileen's panicking. He has to throw out the EMP, but far away with the perfectly timed Transcendence. Was right in the middle of the EMP, but hit it just in time, saved the rest of his team, saved himself, and saved the round as well.
The fact that Late Young, too, was right there to help them out. Far away, was able to get enabled, get protected, and avoid Eileen. Going back in, though, it's going to be the Charge, bringing the same type of composition, and highlighting Nisha on this Mercy has really helped keep that sustainability alive for the Hunters, because they have that res to get back into the action.
I just hulling around the spawn, see what they want to end up picking up. Okay, so they're going Relieve Torb, which we've seen a couple of times before. I do kind of like Torbjorn on this map. There's quite a lot of long sight lines. You can have your turret sit, and you can also put it right at the back here. Your Zenyatta can sit on top of it. It's an extra layer of protection. They know Charge are going to run with these kind of dive comps, so going with the Torbjorn to survive the dives, hit that overload, and just that shotgun as well, straight to the face of the tanks can be a little bit more punishing, a little bit more damage sometimes than you expect coming out from such a stout character.
Especially when you have to also deal with the Discord. Rio got annihilated, and so did Faraway too. Yeah, Faraway making sure Eileen is just not in this fight, being able to get that charge on those orbs. Now, You can see how confident they're playing now. Josh, look how far up they're pushed up, and they're going to be able to back off in time, but I like how they're trying to rotate through this because they're going to be able to build into this next set of ultimates while you currently have Eileen still trying to find a way to get that EMP on.
Farway is 10% away from that Transcendence. Take it back, he just got it. That was a meaty right click on somebody. Mines get laid out from Ema.
And he's so consistent too. Meanwhile, Choice to One, he's trying to get into the back line, trying to find a pick with this pulse bomb. They got to deal with Leaf's turret though, overlooking the point. So much pressure. They utilize a lot of ults here with the minefield and the coalescence. Late Young gets the mech. Choice to One finds the pulse bomb. Now it's the opportunity for the Charge to take control over this point. The Transcendence from Farway is going to keep the rest of Hunters sustained, but it's not going to be for long. They're dropping, and they're dropping quick. Look at this pressure, and now the Sound Barrier is going to keep the Charge in this fight, but they have to deal with the Molten Core, and the Sound Barrier is already done.
Yeah, the soundbar faded away, but luckily half of that Molten Core did get eaten in the end. And most of the Charge are able to dodge out of the way of the damage as well. They do manage to count the point, but they're going to exit the point rather rapidly. The Hunters might just be able to get the instant flip. Farway is down, though, as Rio finds the kill.
Look how close it was. They managed to contest right on time. The Diva Bomb now with Farway out of this fight. It's just up to Nisha here for the sustainability for the rest of the Hunters. Taro Cookie has that Deadeye. You want to look out for that, but it's a Primal coming in from Rio, finding Leave and Nisha, isolating everybody in that room now. It's Taro Cookie's turn, but he doesn't want to overextend here. He already got 3 from the Hunters, and they're going to be able to even up this control point in terms of percent, 61 to 55.
Yeah, and they've got that EMP online as well. They know both Nisha and Farway haven't really been in this engagement. They haven't really had a lot of chance to actually build up these ults, so Eileen's going to have a pretty free EMP. That is a very cheeky flank.
Ooh, and he found Farway too right at the same time. That was an amazing engagement from the EMP, followed up by the Charge. They're trying to make sure that they get this gap far away from the percentages that the Hunters have landed themselves in and are ready to charge, looking a lot better.
Yeah, he surfed over that one, did a little bit of tech. Nice instant team kill. And now the Hunters are on last fight territory. A very early Coalescence. They're diving straight to the back line.
Yeah, the Coalescence now going to help enable this dive, keep Rio up alive. Choice of One popping up with a 3K. Okay, we got our eyes on you, Choice of One. They're going to be able to take control over this point, but somebody's contesting here. They almost copped. They almost were able to take that point. Not for long, though. There's nobody else trickling in. They're trying their best to stay alive, but they do take that second point. The Charge now evening things up for this first map, Jaws.
Yeah, perfectly executed dive from the Charge. And it brings to question, too, Amon on the Wrecking Ball, what is he really doing in a lot of these situations? It's hard for him actually to go for this full-on engagement, Vicky, because you're running into Eileen, who's just going to hold out the hand, right? Go for the hack, and then you're basically useless. This should be the 3K. Oh, it was just him finishing a couple of people up after all that damage. Still looks fancy regardless. Ooh, Nisha bonked on the head. He's going to be feeling that one tomorrow. And yeah, it's very hard for Amon to actually do anything. He wants to dive it or he wants to. It's really just Charge diving into them, so he's not really diving into anybody. He's kind of rolling around. But he has to be very conscious of Eileen and even Choice of One, who's kind of tagging him down. If you were on a Orisa or something like that, it might be a little bit better. Just help the backline a little bit more, you know? That's what's getting killed first. Farway is just getting jumped on time and time again, just getting owned.
I just feel like the positioning from the Charge has just really allowed them to elevate their gameplay in that second round. Diving in, though, and taking a lot of damage is Rio, thanks to Ameng, who was actually able to get on that backline far away, fighting Rio. He's not going to be able to do much to create any space. Kriv took a lot of damage, too. The point is going to go in favor for the Hunters first. They're going to have to regroup here as the Charge. They're going to back off. And Tanisha getting that quick boink onto Krong, too.
Yeah, Vicky, that was actually super unlucky. I don't think Krong thought that Nisha actually hit him there, but look at Nisha's ult charge. 70% on that rally already. A lot of Krong's health bar actually just landed in the drinking. He basically gave it to Nisha. That's a fantastic whip shot. It's going to propel them forward for this next team fight. They want to go fast. They can't survive too long against the Zen. They make their engage.
And Rio is the first one to die in that engagement. Choice One unleashes the pulse bomb, finds Nisha though with the melee, now popping off, finding Taro Cookie. great look here as the Hunters, despite losing 3 of these, it's going to be Choice of One who wants to try to take control over this point. Kriv leading the way for the rest of the charge to get that flip. They need to contest quickly though, Jaws, because you see the extension with this lead from the Hunters and nearly already at 50%.
Choice of One's got his game face on right now. He's had so many individual kills. They're forced to actually pop the rally to try and do something about this fight. Nisha giving everybody a whole lot of armor. That should end it. It was a very scrappy ending. And honestly, it was kind of lucky that Nisha died fairly early on. He comes back with the rally while the rest of the charge were trying to regroup and take over the point. That rally armor was way too much for the charge to handle. They're going to be able to come back with 2 support ultimates of their own, however, in that sound barrier and the coalescence. Again, they want to go quickly. Eileen's so close to this EMP too. A sound barrier straight into this EMP might be good, or even better, a coal into the EMP would be even better.
Now they know too that Eileen was in their back lines, has the EMP now that they have to look out for. Farway's about to have the Transcendence, so as long as Farway avoids Eileen, it's going to really help out Hunters stay in the lead, push this into overtime, because currently the Charge haven't even been able to flip the point. The Sound Barrier now is going to elevate this. They're going to be able to utilize these ultimates after they use that Coalescence already. Farway trying to hang out in the backline. They're diving him. The Transcendence now is unleashed. That was amazing timing too. He saw Rio, he saw that Rio had blood in his eyes, and he knew that he had to pop that Transcendence there. Jaws, Choice of One, still unstoppable by the way. He's been able to literally tear through the Hunters, but the fact is they haven't been able to flip this point.
No, they haven't. Now Farway is in trouble though. They're still being juggled on this point. They need to get on. Lei Young has that self-destruct. He sends it out. Choice of One kills the pilot Diva, and he is still alive and kicking in at this point as reinforcements arrive for the charge.
Oh, that timing with the recall too, not only to avoid the Diva Bomb, but to also make sure that Lei Young won't be in this fight. Can somebody stop Choice of One? Despite the Charge actually getting the flip for this point for the first time in this 3rd round, he's been unstoppable. He's been such a threat onto Hunter's backline.
Choice of One is unbelievable. I want to check how many deaths he's had after this round. Feels like he's had next to no deaths at all. He's constantly in the backline, constantly trying to distract the support. Self-destruct gets thrown in, and Chukron kills 2 instantly. That'll be the end of the team fight here, as Hunters have to retreat. They've got no choice really. They're lucky they've got OT. But that gives a whole bunch of time now for the charge to build up toward this EMP, build up towards this next sound barrier as well. The Hunters in a bit of an awkward situation. They got their rally coming online soon, and this will be a good opportunity to use it. Mine's come out first though.
Eileen building up into that EMP, getting some hits in. Nisha with the rally that's going to start the engagement here for Hunters. Star Cookie now finding Kriv's head. That's big after the sound barrier now has been popped by Mondu. Rio taking a lot of damage, but it's only up to Mondu to help them out, to help that sustainability. Look at the way they disengage it. That was really good timing, but they got to get back onto the point because it's OT here in favor for Hunters.
Yeah, the turret's on the point as well. It's going to be so annoying. The 7th man on the field, the true summoner, that is the Torbjorn. Nice EMP, lands on 2.
Yeah, hits Taro Cookie and Nisha. Taro's going to go down without using that Deadeye. Choice of One has been harassing this backline. It's insane, actually. The fact that he already has a pulse bomb on after just having it, misses that sticky. That's big because Nisha is going to be able to build into this rally. Now the minefield coming in. Among just trying to get into position. No one touches the point. The Molten Core creating so much space. The Hunters, they take the first map of the series.
Wow-wee. Okay, Taro Cookie looking pretty good on the Kree there. Definitely one of his better heroes for sure. He actually managed to take out Mandu, or Kriv, sorry, while Kriv was using Coalescence. A Discord orb from far away, a body shot and a headshot takes out the Cole. That's what you want to see from your rookie that's just been promoted.
You love to see it. Hunters now leading the way, but the Charge are putting up such a good fight, specifically Choice of One, who's been able to pop off. We're going to be able to see more of the action on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Overwatch League.
Heroes never die.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile.